Hi. Hi, everyone. Sorry we're
Hey
late.
everyone.
We were experiencing some technical issues and and thank you for bearing with us. That's kind of part of our introduction, actually. We were planning to let you know that this is a new thing for us, so we may experience more of those as we go along tonight and maybe over the next few weeks. And we just ask that you are bearing with us, being patient. We will do our best to navigate this all together. Um, and yeah, then skipping straight into the introductions. My name is Chelsea. My pronouns are she, they, and I am a creative wellness practitioner.
Hey everyone, my name is Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, and I am an art therapist.
Yeah. And Sarah and I know each other. We met during our art therapy training at Kootenai Art Therapy Institute. We did the distance program together, and it started about 4 years ago now. So we've known each other almost as long and facilitated other things together. And yeah, but we share a love for community art making, and that's how we ended up here in this space. And Sarah will tell you a little bit more about what inspired us to be here online and do this live art hive together.
Yeah, so even though Chelsea and I are living in different cities in Canada, we wanted to try to create an online community based around creativity. So, a really important organization that we look to for some direction is arthive.org. And we'd like to share their their mission statement, and that is an art hive is a community art studio that welcomes everyone as an artist. It's a welcoming place to talk, to make art, and to build communities. So we do want to mention that while we both are trained art therapists, that this is not therapy, and we are basing this experience on the understanding that creative expression can be very therapeutic. If you do need more information about that, you could refer to the description below for some more details about support, about art therapy in particular, and then there's just some more information down there. So we thought we would let you know what to expect over the next hour. What we're going to do first, we're going to do a metaphor check-in, and Chelsea will explain a bit more about that when we get there. Then we're going to do some art making. So we're going to invite you to create around that metaphor that we check in with. You can also create whatever you'd like. And then we're going to switch, and you're going to actually be able to see our faces and our art making space. And we have the chat here, so we encourage you to use the chat. We also might chat, and then there might also be some silent creative making time. I think we've arranged to have a little bit of music in the background. And then the last 10 minutes, we're going to take the chance to share our art. Maybe we might chat about it with each other. And then we're going to give you some options to extend your experience here today.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Sarah. So yeah, starting off with a little bit of a check-in. Typically in a creative wellness or therapy space, we like to check in with a metaphor because it kind of gets us into that creative mindset and imaginative sort of mode. So it helps us to think in images. So today, because this is a new adventure for us, we were thinking the metaphor would be something about a new beginning. This is also the theme that we'll carry out into the art making if you choose to work with it or not. So we'll start by checking in with a metaphor around new beginnings. And if you want to check in and say just maybe a new beginning metaphor that feels alive for you today, then do that in the chat. We'd love to hear about it. You can also just say hi and tell us, what you're doing, where you're from. We'd love to hear that too. And as far as a metaphor for me goes, I'm feeling that Dorothy at a fork in a road kind of thing, the Wizard of Oz, right? The yellow brick road going two ways. And I feel like either way is a new beginning. My paintbrushes were going to fall off the desk there just now. Yeah, either way is a new beginning, right? So every choice is a new beginning. And yeah, I'm just for some reason, the yellow brick road is sticking out in my brain today. So that's my metaphor. What about you, Sarah? What are you thinking?
So I tried not to think of one coming in beforehand because I wanted to kind of think about it on the fly. And the first thing that popped into my mind around new beginnings was a few weeks ago I saw what I believe to be the marigolds were starting to pop out of the ground. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking about. And then after that, there was a whole bunch of snowstorms. So now they're covered back up in snow. And so I'm kind of thinking about that as sometimes new beginnings are started a little bit and then you kind of maybe go down and go up again. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's a process, the beginning, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Lots of new beginnings within a beginning. I love that. Yeah, so feel free to put your metaphor in the chat if you like. Like I said, we'd love to hear about it. And now we'll just take some time to go into the art making. And so we'll show you what we're doing on our screens here. And we'll just change the orientation here a little bit. And we'll put some little music on. And as Sarah said, we might do a little bit of chatting here, but it will also be a time for quiet working together too. So if you have any questions or about art therapy or creative wellness, or just want to talk about new beginnings, the chat's all there and we will respond as we go along. Is there anything else that I'm missing there, Sarah?
No, the only other thing that maybe I might offer is just maybe a couple of examples about new beginnings. When I think of new beginnings, I think of robins. We could also explore using a new color we don't tend to use very often.
Yeah.
We could use a new technique, maybe that we saw somewhere through the world of the internet or somebody else in their art making. So just a couple of ideas. And just a reminder, you do not have to follow that new beginning concept. You can do whatever you'd like.
Yeah, exactly. Feel free to use this space however feels right for you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm going to pop on some old background music. Let me know what that sound is. Is it a little too loud? Or it's just a fun little bop for us to have on while we create. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was telling Sarah earlier that I got a new journal today, and new journal day is probably one of my favorite days because I go through them like really quickly usually. I always have a new journal coming up, so I like to get ones that are like these composition books. I don't know if you can see, yeah, they're like pretty standard ones. And this is the first time that I've got one that I thought I'm going to decorate this. So this is a new journal and a new way of approaching this journal by making art on it before I even get into the writing part of it. So I'm excited about that today.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think you'll tend to maybe hear us go into the art making a little bit.
Was that it? Sorry?
Well, I was just saying that you'll maybe tend to see us go into the art making.
Yeah.
And then chat for a little bit and then not chat.
Yeah, fade in and out.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Nora. Nora. I think of how lovely the sun rises every day, and when I think of new beginnings, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the sunrise. I haven't been up early enough to catch a sunrise for a while, but that's inspiration to do it. So thank you.
Also wondering if there's anyone that wants to share what materials they're using. That's another something that you could share in the chat.
Yeah.
For me, I'm using kind of a go-to. For me, I like to just draw some things out first. With a black marker, I'm using Micron, and then I kind of might go back in and fill it in with some other markers.
I love a Micron pen. That's one of my favorite tools.
Yeah.
I'm doing collage today, which is not something I usually do, actually. This is kind of not really something I lean into a lot, so not really new, but it is something that is sort of different for me.
I'm really appreciating the music.
Yeah, it's a vibe, isn't it?
Often. Another thing we welcome too is if you're watching this after the live, to go ahead and share after, and also in that same thought process, if you have any ideas for themes to explore, love to hear those too.
Yeah, we'd love your feedback. This is a co-created space, so we want to hear what you need, what you're looking for in this space.
How's it going?
Good. I'll leave my zone there for a minute.
Absolutely. One of the things I love about art making.
The best. Yeah. Yeah.
The flow. Get into the flow and kind of just go into it, and it's so good for us.
Yeah, it gives your brain a little opportunity to reset. Okay?
Yeah. I guess I'd also like to kind of just mention that as a reminder, I guess, to give yourself permission to make as much art as you want, or stop making one piece and make another. Oftentimes we can get into it and then it doesn't turn out the way we want, or we have another idea. I guess I just encourage you to follow that.
Yeah.
Make multiple pieces of art.
Kind of along that same idea is don't worry about finishing a piece of art in this time either. You know, you can work on a project as much as you like, and it doesn't have to be complete, right? In this case, yeah. You can own this or bring it back next time, or not.
Yeah. Have multiple pieces of artwork that are not complete.
Yeah.
Or complete for now. We'll go back into art pieces and add to them, or cut them up and use them for something else.
Yes. I don't do that very often, actually. That's something that I would like to explore a little bit more. Purposing the art. I love going back to it. I love starting pieces and coming back to them. Sometimes I forget that I've even done them.
Yeah.
Or right? And then come back to it. That's always a little fun experiment. But yeah, I don't often repurpose.
That is a big, I guess you can see the piece of art behind me. A lot of that art was made with my art that I'd created over the last few years, just ripping and tearing it up, and
yeah. A beautiful way to give it a new beginning, a new life.
True story. Yeah, and I'll also just kind of say, for anyone watching currently or going to watch in the future, in the realm of giving feedback, what's it like when we are making silent for long periods of time? Or are there, projects that we could explore together?
Yeah.
We are abundant in ideas.
How are you doing there,
I'm good. I like looking up every once in a while,
Sarah?
checking out.
Every couple of minutes, like, ooh, look how much happened. That's fine.
Maybe now, I know we were planning on talking about it at the end, but maybe I'll just mention that we have another open studio concept art hive, and it's called the Crafty Nook, and we'll put the information about that later. But we meet on Monday evenings through Zoom, and it's more of it's a group where we actually are coming together on Zoom and making art similar to what we're doing right now, but obviously with everybody in the room. And we have the opportunity to then share at the end as well. So if anybody's interested in that, we will mention a little bit more about how to find that at the end of the session here. And that art hive is by donation, and we choose an organization or an individual each month to donate the 50% of the funds that we raise.
Yeah, and the link is actually in the description for the Create With Us on our website. So if you want to, there's a bunch of different things down there. And hi, Art Cat. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Art Cat.
You. Art Cat, you might have missed the intro there. We're talking about new beginnings today. That's our theme, our metaphor. So if you wanted to share a metaphor related to new beginnings, we'd love to hear it. If you want to use it in your art, you are welcome to. And if you'd like to just do whatever you like, that's also good. No pressure to check in, but we're happy to have you.
I think I need to just jet over and turn my light on because the sun is going down.
Oh,
and I'm going to lose some light. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Ooh, nice. Robins and tundra swans are on my mind. First time I've seen them together in March. Oh, tundra swans. I'm not even familiar with that. I'll have to look that up. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing, Art Cat.
let me know if my smooshing gets too loud and I can mute myself.
I personally like the smooshing sound, but I'll leave that to everyone else who's present. It's not your jam.
Me? Oh, no leaf clover. Thanks for the compliment on the artwork. We try our best. It's not super loud though, hey? The noise making of the art?
I don't find it too loud. No.
Okay.
But if anybody else does, then please say so. This is the space.
I guess that's the tricky part about the art making and the sounds.
Sounds fine. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Cool.
I'm sorry, that's me knocking around over here.
Oh, that's all right. Real life. Real life art making going on here. So I guess we should probably mention that we'll have about 5 more minutes. We will personally have about 5 more minutes of art making.
Yeah.
And then we'll take the last 10 minutes to share if we want between each other. I mean, whoever's watching, you can continue on as long as you want. But I think maybe we'll respect the end time of 7, even though we had a little blip in our start. New beginnings.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Next time we'll go smoother.
Sure.
Maybe.
Oh, thanks for the comments on the sound. Good to know. Oh, I said we're going to wrap up at 7. We're not. I was following the time. No, we're not. We're going to go for the full hour. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Sarah. I thought that's what you meant. We're going to make the hour.
All good. In my mind, I was thinking, oh yeah, we'll finish up at 7, but no. That's all good.
Oh, and maybe just on that note, if there's somebody who can't stick around till the very end, we're just going to share our artwork, talk a little bit about the process for ourselves. And if you want to do the same, you're welcome to do that in the chat or in the comments. But we also have a community on our website. So the link is below in the description, and you are able to share your artwork there and talk a little bit about it, connect with other community members. So it's public, but it's members only. So it's for you to register if you want to sign up. We'd love to see your art that you're making in the space if you want to share it. But just so you know what we'll kind of be going over if you can't stick around for it.
Yeah. And as far as, maybe you've never been asked the question, would you like to share your art before? So that might look like sharing what color you used. Maybe you created a symbol. Maybe it was mark making. Maybe what techniques you used.
Yeah.
That could be what you share. Okay, so we are at the 50-minute mark. So, yeah, as we mentioned, Chelsea and I will chat a little bit about art, but just before we move into that, you may want to just check in with yourself. You might have been sitting the whole time. Perhaps you might have been using, just one piece of material the whole time, and you've been really like go in and just want to check in, maybe stretch any part of your body that might need a little attention. So I'm gonna take a moment to do that.
Me too.
Stand up. All right. Okay, so, well, I guess you can see this. Maybe I'll just slide it around and I'll talk a little bit about my art. So I decided to go ahead and follow that metaphor that I checked in with, which was I talked about seeing some buds come up in the backyard, in the garden. So that's kind of where I started with the buds. And it was interesting because they really like caught my attention when I was walking by and I didn't expect them. And for me, that seeing buds come up is always really hopeful for me. So it just reminds me that spring is around the corner. And yeah, so I kind of drew the buds, and then I was doing the underground too. And I guess one of the great things about art is that you can make things be different than they are, I guess, in real life. And so the ground is colored in with pinks and purples instead of browns. And so I think that I was just kind of following through on that whole hopeful, brightening it up a little bit, and just kind of playing with the color being not the color that I actually see. So, yeah, and as you can see, I'm not finished. I'm going to do a little bit of the background. And then I guess the other thing I would say is just I really love the smooshing. It feels really good just to put some marks on the paper, 2 different colors. I used some soft pastels and just made some marks and then just really blending them in. For me, that's really satisfying.
Yeah.
That's me.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
I think you touched on a really important part of art making, and that is that we can create it however we want to. It doesn't have to be true to what we see, right? So that's
right.
Yeah, so mine, what's the best way to show it here? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, this is my cover of my new journal. Don't have any acrylics here. I don't know. I just, for those who don't know, I just moved here recently and I didn't bring my acrylic paints with me. So I just have gouache, but I painted the back with gouache and it is water activated. So as I'm gluing on, it's activating and the paint is kind of smearing over the images. And I kind of just am flowing with it and embracing that because it's coming up. It's kind of streaking a little bit, and it's making some interesting layers. I kind of like that you can see the words coming out from underneath, and if I scratch it, then you can see what's below it. So yeah, it was just an interesting process. Like I said, I don't use collage very much, so it's fun to play with it every now and then. And yeah, mine isn't done either. I'm going to be working on it for a while now, I think, because I still haven't even started the back. So yeah, maybe even the next session I'll bring it in. But yeah, that's me.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. I love they talked about layers. We kind of talked about it at the beginning. There's many layers of new beginnings.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Metaphors are amazing. Art's amazing.
True story. And thanks, Art Cat, for sharing that you love smooshing too, with a big smiley face.
Yes. And we have some heart eye smiley faces from T.E. Wood. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I think we're ready to kind of wrap it up now. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're watching this after the fact, thank you. We appreciate you being a part of our community. Really, that's what we're trying to do here, is make a community. So yeah, we really appreciate that. There's links below to join the community on our website, where we have separate groups for the offerings that we have. So thank you, Art Cat. So yeah, we're hopeful that you'll join and maybe share your artwork if you like in that space. We'd love to see you there. Yeah, and that's free. There's something else that I wanted to say. And it was, so our next live hive is going to be in 2 weeks from now. Same time. We will hopefully start right on time next time, but
promises.
No promises. Exactly. Yeah, we're finding our way through the technical aspects of it. As Sarah has mentioned a few times, feedback in the comments is welcome. Any suggestions that you have about how we create the space, what we create in the space, we'd love to hear it. So please do that if you have any ideas for us. And I think that's, what time is it again? It's 7 Atlantic time, 6 Eastern time, and I think that's 4 Central Standard Time right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If anybody has any final words that they'd like to say, if they want to have, sometimes we close with one word just to say what the experience was like for us. So I might start with that. I might do that just to give us a little ceremony. And if you want to do that in the chat, please do. Just let us know what you thought. Thank you. Now. Oh, sorry, T.E. Wood. Okay. Well, March 28th. Come on back. Yeah, time change happened over the weekend. Yeah.
You can also rewatch too. This should be watchable as soon as we finish. Yeah.
Yes, you can totally rewatch it, and then use the comments to respond if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah, I think my word is fullness. I feel really full after this. This was a lot of fun. It was an exciting new adventure, and I feel full. So thank you, everyone. Do you have a word?
My word is hopeful. I'm hopeful. This is really brand new, and I'm excited to see where it goes, and excited to co-create in the space. And yeah, I'll leave it at hopeful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, so much. We really appreciate you showing up.
Yeah, and showing up for yourself too, because really that's what our making can do for you. You show up for yourself. So It is beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll be out now.
Peace.
See you soon.